Hello everyone, I'm Ryan Matthew Harker, and this is the Pocket Dimension. Today I am going to take a look at the comic book Ant. It was created by Mario Gully, who has worked for Image and Marvel, and he published his book Ant originally from Arcana, and then it moved to Image, and then after Image it was printed through Big City Comics. So today I just want to, I haven't read all of these. I collected each book of the entire series of each run, the Arcana, the Image, and the Big City, but I have not yet read all of them. But today I figured we'd just take a look at the first issues of each series and kind of see, check out the art and see, what kind of, differences there might be in the book or similarities in the books. So we'll start with Ant number 1 from Arcana here. And there was, I think, I've got 4 issues from Arcana. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So anyway, let's crack this baby and see what we got. As the story goes, Mario Gully found himself in jail or prison maybe for robbery, and he was in his cell when he saw a little ant crawling from the window, and the rest, as they say, is history. He created the character and went on to draw quite a few issues of it, and I think eventually he ended up selling the rights to the character to Eric Larson of Savage Dragon, who and I think Eric Larson has got an ongoing book of Ant right now, if not current, then somewhat recently. So this is a variant cover of this issue that I got, cover 1C. It's just the pencils, and as you can tell, Mario's got some pretty tight pencil work going on here. Kind of got a McFarlane vibe to it, and I think he'd be one of the first people to say that Todd McFarlane was a big influence for him and his style. And I believe there's even a cover. It might be one of these. Yep. Number 3 of the Image run has a cover with Spawn on it. So let's see. This was put out by Arcana June of 2004. So story and pencils, Mario Gully. Plot, Mario Gully and Matt Nixon. Inks, Peter Rapovsky. So, and the color was done by Haverlane Studios. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Anyway, as you can see, start off, Ant's in Chicago, or if they're in Chicago, I believe this is Ant. She's in this area. I think it's it goes with Hannah is her name, and she's a kid, and I think she like creates this fantasy world of Ant, and where Ant is a superhero, she's Ant, and she's a superhero. But in the beginning, we got, it looks like her dad got pulled over, being messed with by the cops. It looks like he might have even got arrested for something, but anyway, Mario's art not quite as McFarlane-esque as it is on the cover, but still, I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, he does well with the folds of the clothes and, you know, hair. I think he draws the hair really well for these characters, and you know, got some booty going on here on this female officer. And I'm sure Mario will be the first to say that, you know, he likes to draw big butts. So I follow him on his Facebook, and you know, he's got a lot of great drawings of female characters with their booty showing. So, but yep. So yeah, Hannah is just a little kid. She's in elementary school still, and you know, having all the troubles that a child her age might be expected to have, especially, you know, considering the situation. Her dad just got arrested, and you know, now she's, you know, dealing with the system, and you know, counselors trying to help her out. You know, again, you know, this hair, her hair is just amazing. Like, I mean, that's some awesome detail. All those curls, I mean, like pencil and ink that's quite the chore. And all the wrinkles in her hoodie. So, and here we go. She's looking out the window. So, I mean, here we go. This is like a homage to Ant, the character Ant's creation. I mean, so instead of Mario looking out his cell window, we got Hannah looking out the window of the counselor's office, and oh, and they're talking about, I'm going to be a hero just like I write about in my journal. I'll even be able to save people from trouble. I'm going to fix everything that's wrong. Everything. And the counselor says, does this hero have a name? And Hannah says, yeah, I'm going to be called Ant. So, and of course, the counselor says, Hannah, dear, that's very cute. Enough is enough. Listen to me. You can't be a superhero when you grow up. It's not a practical goal. You know, it's okay to pretend you're Ant Woman or whatever to even write stories, but you can't actually be this person. Not Ant Woman, sniff, just Ant. Ants never really get noticed. They are small and forgotten, but they are also strong and fearless, and nothing stands in their way. There's a pretty sweet close-up shot of an ant right there. The eyes, and I wonder if he used some reference on that. If he actually picked up ants and looked at them. He does a really good job of drawing them. Nope. Speaking of booty, there we go, right there. You know, the man can draw a sexy female, that's for sure. But so the child gives Miss Joyce a glimpse of her fantasy. Predestined to become strong, predestined to change her family. She's fated to change her life. Hannah continues to describe places, dates, times. Soon the principal realizes Hannah knows much more than a child of her age should. So, can't help but wonder where Hannah gets her knowledge from. Mrs. Joyce ponders for a moment. Would she ever be the same? Almost feels like a child again. So, it looks like she's growing up and drawing her own comics there. That's actually kind of a cool shot. I don't know how well you can see this in the camera, but she is drawing, looks like a page right out of this comic. That's pretty cool. Nope. Yep. So she's just imagining this must be Ant all grown up, which is her, you know. Because then, what an imagination. We're back in the counselor's office. And, you know, more stuff happens, and kids will be kids. Oh, bug girl. They throw a rock at her. That's not very nice. Loser, hee hee. She's being made fun of. Shitty kitty. And she's stubborn, of course. This kid's trying to reach out and help her. Not happening. He ends up reading her journal. And that's a pretty sweet 2-page spread right there. Ant. Yeah, not too shabby. Lots of detail in this one. And Mr. Gully is definitely a pretty good artist. I mean, really. I mean, great proportions. You know, he's definitely got the female anatomy down. Like, he can draw his chicks better than I can. That's something I struggle with in my own art. Drawing females. Something I don't practice enough, I guess. I always tell myself I need to. Yeah, that's a sweet 2-page spread. So then, now we're in an ant story. Looks like some robberies going on. Looks like they hitched up this armored car. They're towing it behind them. Big guns there. Kiss my ass. So that's pretty funny for a little girl's sketchbook, right? All this stuff's going on. Here's Ant. That's a pretty sweet shot in the cityscape. I've noticed this with his art. Like, he does some pretty cool angles with stuff. For sure. Like, he posts a lot of cool stuff on Instagram and on his Facebook. But yeah, good images of the street. So good overhead shot of the looking down on the helicopter flying through the streets. Zoom in. Takes this shot, turns it into a zoom shot. I mean, that's a good transition. You got all the little details that you don't see as in detail here, and then you blow them up, and here's the details here. Got all these little ants cruising across the panel borders. And the cops are still going after those guys. And Ant is doing some gymnastic stuff here. Well, her little antennae are deflecting bullets. Yeah, Mario, he does really good drawing vehicles and buildings and... Oh, look at the texture here. This looks like some early digital computer work there. I guess not too early. What did I say? This was 2004. Yeah, 2004, June 2004. But big bulging musculature. He's got a good grasp of anatomy. What happened here or something? So this guy's the big guy looks like he's shifting. There's an ant here who, it says munch. And then he goes, ouch, you little sucker. Where'd you? God, no, Arcana. And then all of a sudden his body just like explodes or something. I don't know what the heck's going on there. Like something going on with that ant. Like made his body explode. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of ants all over him now. And this guy's freaking out. He's like, what's going on here? And there's a pretty sweet shot here. Ant grabs the truck by the chain that was towing the armored car with, and she's really strong, right? Because ants are proportionately like super strong. So grabs the semi by the chain, swings it around. You see the guy in the window going, ah! I'm wondering, he must have been using some reference for this, because I mean, like, that is just a great detail in that semi. there's a lot of different angles, you know, looking at it from different points of view. So, and kaboom, and then yep, kaboom, and the boy's like, whoa, that's crazy. And then oh, and here's her dad. Looks like they tried to get him on a murder rap. I was the last guy to see my boss alive. They have eyewitnesses seeing me leave the crime scene 30 minutes earlier. That makes me the #1 suspect. So, that sucks for him. And, oh, Hannah, Dad, so happy to see each other. Looks like he really is a good dad. They love each other. And so that might be Red, maybe a neighbor or something. And she goes in her room, and oh no, can't find her book. So there's a close-up of her. That's kind of a strange shot. Her little big eyes, crying, lip quivering. It's good, but it looks kind of funny to me. So yeah, here Mario Gully has the last word. So there's Mr. Mario back in 2004-ish, I imagine. The date down here says 3/30/04. So ant #1, all the ants cruising across the book. So anyway, so that is the Arcana. First issue of the Arcana run of Ant. Like I said, I got 4 books here. I think that's all there was to this before he moved to Image. And so then there's the Image book, and there is 12 issues of this. 11 of them, I believe, were penciled by Mario Gully, and then he did the cover on number 12, but the interiors are done by Eric Larson. So this was after he sold the rights to Eric, maybe. So yeah, we got 12 issues here. Oh, I'll show you there's the cover for number 3, the Spawn cover. That's a pretty sick cover, really. There's a lot of detail going on there. So, I mean, I'd say, like, outside of Todd McFarlane or Greg Capullo, you know, that is one of the best renditions of Spawn I've seen. You know, I guess Angel Mendina, he did a pretty good Spawn too, but as far as the classic style, you know, this is the Spawn that I like to see. You know, I've got all the compendiums that are out so far, and, you know, the last couple of them I've been having a hard time making it through. Like, I don't know, the art and the story is just, my heart is not in it. And I'm not sure that the people working on the books are in it either, really. So some of the art is amazing, but yeah, all that's a video for another day. So let's check out Ant #1 from Image Comics. I bet you he was super stoked. You know, getting it published by Arcana was probably, you know, really cool. But then, I mean, Image was a big deal, you know. So open this guy up and see what we got. And Ant did some cameos in the Savage Dragon too, so that was pretty cool to see. And I'm pretty sure I got some of those issues, so maybe one day I'll do a video on that. But and this one's dedicated to Todd McFarlane. So, I mean, yeah, he definitely had drew some inspiration from there. And we got Dan Kemp on the cover with him, probably doing the colors on this. There's Dan's little signature. I love Dan Kemp and his color, and he does some really good stuff. And he was out of, I think, Brian Haberland's studio. So let's see who does the colors. Stephanie Renee. I'm not sure who that is, but story and art, Mario Gully. Story and script, Mark Hammond. So story and script. So he had some help scripting this. You know, maybe Image was like, you know, we really like what you're doing, but you know, let us give you some help with the writing. But you know, look at the cityscape. We're back into this like great detail, and you know, I think his art has matured a little bit, gotten a little looser, you know, a little more alive, maybe. Oh yeah, a pretty sweet spread here. So Hannah Washington. So now this is actually her. She's all grown up from Arcana Hannah. Arcana Hannah. Again, you know, Mario's drawing some sexy women because, you know, that's what every little boy reading comic books wants to see. You know, maybe even some little girls. But yep, you know, good art. Oh, that looks like it could be Terry Fitzgerald right there from Spawn. It certainly does look like him. So, yep, we got her. She's walking, doing a lot of walking. Dude's checking her out, of course. Sweet cars up, and it says Larson on it. That's funny. Oh, we got an Invincible doll. So, what year did this come out? This was August of 2005. So this is a year after Arcana. So Arcana, he got, you know, about 6 months or so, he got 4 issues out. And I heard through the grapevine, and you know, forgive me, Mario, if this isn't true, but I heard that he was having some trouble meeting some of his deadlines for Image, and that might have been part of the reason why Image canceled Ant. You know, I don't know that for a fact, but it is something I either read or heard, or I'm not entirely sure. So again, we've got all the ants all along the borders. So, and we're flashed back into when she was a kid, getting bullied, and she got hit by a car. My body still has an odd achy feeling sometimes. And then the memory goes out of focus, and this is what is burning in my mind. The smallest of things. So there's the ant. And so she's in the hospital a lot. And I don't know how I got here. A comic book convention, that seems a little off. So she's got some stuff going on with her head now, maybe. But yeah, she's at a comic book convention. We're in a women's locker room. Chick's getting dressed. And I'm doing some presentations, and then here is some mime chick, Jessica Mime. And she has some kind of weird gauntlets on. It looks like she's created these guns out of energy or something. And and then there's a whole gang of mimes. I don't know who really any of these people are, but you know, she must be with this big dude. And so they're, yep, those weird energy guns actually do shoot. So they're blowing up this comic book convention. And then, here's the ant coming to save the day. Again, see, this is what I'm talking about with some of the perspectives he does, some of the camera angles and stuff. Like, this is a really cool shot here, like looking up, you know, up from the ground, you know, maybe not entirely ground, but under butt level, and which kind of puts this guy in a weird spot. Like, you know, how is he that much further down? You know, did he hit the ground somewhere? No, it just shows him back further. So I don't know if he'd actually be there, but ants crawling down the wall. There's the ant there. But I mean, look at this. This is like some really great art. I mean, this detail, this arch, these columns, you know, the sweeping curtains there, and then the shot up through the skylight at the moon and the city outside. He does some good background work. Really good background work for sure. And so ants busting up these mimes. Again, some good art, you know. Not too bad. Funny stuff here, you know. Mimes hitting mimes with baseball bats. Watch the hands. He's all grabbing her by the butt there. And she's kicking ass. She's wearing this like bodysuit, but like it like wraps like around her toes and everything. She's got like foot gloves on, little feety pajamas. And again, her antennas are deflecting bullets. Ting, ting, ting. And she is whooping Jessica Mime's butt. Kicked her in the crotch, because that hurts chicks too, you know. Another great shot. I really like this. This is a good picture. The city in the background, stonework. And then the arachnid shows up at the end. Now, this is a character from Savage Dragon right here. So, I mean, immediately he's crossing over into Savage Dragon world. Like, they're establishing, like, that they're, you know, Ant and the Savage Dragon are in the same universe. Or, you know, maybe at this point, 2005, you know, maybe there was still somewhat of a shared Image universe, because they, you know, they start off Image with these great plans for the shared Image universe, and like they had crossovers and stuff, but I think ultimately, you know, they just kind of coalesced into their own universes. You know, like you don't see a lot of the rest of Image going on in Savage Dragon over time, and Spawn definitely just kind of became its own thing. And you know, Liefeld did so much stuff with Youngblood, you know, all over the map that, you know, I don't think there was a lot to keep track of there universe-wise. So, great shot of Arachnid here. This is a good picture. Really like this. You know, and again with the background, these buildings. I mean, he does a good job with all these details. Like, I know from personal experience drawing buildings, even, you know, simple stuff like this, I mean, it gets time consuming, and trying to, like, you know, make everything look realistic and not all the buildings like have the same architecture, that gets difficult. So, yep, and that is the end of it. We got some different stuff going on here. Oh, and here's a little Savage Dragon ad for Big League Chew. Looks like. Oh, nope, Home Run Pies. Nope. So, yeah, so they were like Little Debbie's Pies or something. A home run. That's funny. It looks like, yeah, it looks like Eric Larson actually drew that. So just threw it out there with double header. Or double header. So, next issue, the pressure is on. The ant has got caught in the arachnid's web. So yeah, so there's the first issue of Ant from Image Comics. Not too bad, you know. Stories, you know, nothing spectacular, but it's fun, and I think it sets it up, you know, pretty well to go into some Savage Dragon work. So that's cool. You know, one of these days I'm gonna have to sit down and finish reading these, but not today. So here is the first issue from Big City Comics. This is Ant Unleashed now, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that they changed the name from Ant to Ant Unleashed because there was some kind of copyright at that point with Image for just Ant. And I might be wrong, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, that was the other thing. I believe it was, let's see here, issue number 8 of the Image run. There might have been some inappropriate content that wasn't, officially advertised, or labeled appropriately. And so that, I think that was also part of the controversy and part of why maybe Image had canceled Ant, was because, I think Mario, I want to say he drew like, some strippers or something, and, maybe they weren't as appropriately attired as they should have been without proper labeling. But I don't know. Like I said, I haven't gone through all these yet, but one of these days I will, and maybe I can do a deeper dive into the world of Ant. But for today, we're just gonna keep on looking at the art in these issue 1s. So this doesn't even have Mario doing the pencils. So this is story by Mario Gully, pencils by Marco Torrini. So already I'm kind of disappointed because I like Mario's art. It's fun to look at. So this was December 2007. So a couple years after issue 1 of about 2.5 years, a year and a half, about a year and a half after issue 1 of Image Ant. So anyway, where are we at here? They're down in some kind of basement or trust them. Walked away. So I don't know who these people are, what's going on. But it's like she's down in some kind of weird basement, all kinds of pipes and stuff. Gotta make a move on Hannah. What's a nice girl doing a shithole like this? So he's trying to get handsy with her, grabs her booty. And yep, she doesn't like that. So yep, I guess it's kind of hard to see, well, it's not hard. So we're looking at the art of these to see how things have changed. Obviously there's been a drastic change in the art because there's a whole new artist doing it. And I gotta say, like, while the art is acceptable, it's not what I've come to expect or want from an Ant book. So that's too bad. But well, I mean, good shots, good pictures of chicks, dudes, anatomy, vehicles, perspective. That's a nice motorcycle there. Good car, BMW. Well, so some kind of construction site or something maybe. She takes off on this motorcycle. I haven't cashed my check yet. Is there some prostitutes out here maybe or something? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm home, Christy. Hope you guys are decent. Nope, they're not decent. Oh yeah. So we got some prostitution or something going on here. Yeah, definitely. So this one definitely says parental advisory, explicit content, and they are not joking because they're straight up getting busy. Oh yeah. Getting busy there. hey, she can join us if she wants. She's like, no. But so anyway, a bunch of stuff going on, and then no, not again. Get out of my head. She's got some shit going on. Looks like she's got some drugs for it. So it's like the aunt persona is like a different part of her mind or something, maybe. She takes some pills. Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. Her friend comes over to talk about it. Lots of stuff going on. Bunch of stuff going on, and getting some strange vibes. Damn, I hope I'm just paranoid again. It could be the meds. I really hope so. Christy, it's me. Don't freak out. I'm a social. I'm sticking to the wall and coming to the window. Don't freak the fuck out on me. Haven't told Christy about who I once was. I just didn't know how to begin a conversation about me being addicted to sugar or how I can bench press a semi-truck. Okay, so she's still the aunt. Like, she's not like, you know, separate personalities or anything, but she's definitely got some mental problems going on. And we know who you are. Somebody killed her friend, and they fucked with the wrong bitch. She's in her aunt outfit. So to be continued. And here we go. Aunt Unleashed sketchbook, art by Marco Torrini. So yeah, and like I said, I mean, this work's not bad. I mean, look at these pencil or the inks here, pencils, inks, whatever. You know, it's good work. I mean, that's a lot of detail with the building there. Holy smokes! So I mean, it's good art. You know, adequate art. It's just not Mario, and you know, I was really hoping to see more of his stuff. So. Ant number 1, Ant Unleashed number 1 from Big City Comics. And there was 3 issues produced of that. 1, 2, and 3. And, you know, even these, it looks like Marco Torrini. Yeah, so it's not him, not Mario doing the covers either. That Mario Gully's Ant Unleashed. Anyway, so that's all I got for today. Yeah. And just don't forget that you can buy the comics and novels I create by searching Ryan Matthew Harker at Amazon.com, or you can go to the Pocket Dimension store at thepocketdimensionstore.square.site. Just remember that spelled out, that's the pocket dimension store.square.site. Again, spelled out, that's the pocket dimension and then store.square.site. So you got to remember those hyphens in there. I'm confident you all can get there and help support me, though, as an indie author and illustrator. Yeah, and there was my flashcards in the shot. I've been careful not to do that, but looks like tonight I did, and definitely not going to edit that out of the video because I like having these, you know, kind of raw, and, you know, this is my life videos. You know, I'm filming these in my office at my house. You know, I live in a small place. I got dogs. I got my girlfriend. We're all just, you know, living life. So if you ever hear any ruckus or any animals, or I talk about my animals coming in, you know, that's why. But anyway, so y'all have a great night, and I'll see you next time.